the penmanship of this thing, that the culture of ours, and maintain the integrity of lyricism. The integrity. And we're going to talk a little bit about where they're going with that. But we're going to talk about this brother's journey, where he sees the game now compared to where it was, and everything in between. I'm going to stop there. But we're going to go into this popping video. We're going to check this out so y'all can get a little feel. You know what I'm saying? So y'all don't be like, yo, Spud, you throwing something on that. You know, I don't be, as the youngins say, capping, right now. I'm not capping, and I'm gonna prove that right now. So we're gonna go into this popping video. Tell a friend to jump on the set. You might not want to miss this. Yo, Sophie D, I see you. Shout out to Amber. Shout out to Suave, I see you. Face to Face, I see you. Shout out to everybody jumping on. Mr. Bard, salute to you. All right, we're gonna go into this. Golden, I gotta give them our shout outs. The peoples are in. They are rolling in. All right, y'all. This is Izrell, right? This song is called Poppin'. I don't want y'all to just watch the video. I need y'all to listen, listen. And I don't be saying that all the time, because sometimes things is just the vibe. I need you to listen. Let's check this out, y'all, and we're gonna have the brother right here on the set. Check it out, y'all. This is Poppin'.
SHU Studio, we get busy.
I don't fuck around with the fuck around, I just stay to myself. I'm in charge like Charles, no, I don't play with the help. You drop that shit that get cobwebs like books that stay on the shelf. Wish blessings upon my people, some pray that I fail. I say it's fake, somebody hate. They try to say that it's real. Want all my niggas to win, fuck taking an L. Can't be compared, I'm something rare. It ain't fair to a square. Niggas try to get their opinion, they know I don't care. It be the same guys that flip pies and talk too much. And floss, I don't buy it if it costs too much. Broke bitches, I run them off, and niggas be coming soft. Hang with the underdogs and don't fuck around with the laws too much. Niggas who keep it 1,000, I don't come across too much. I'm just saying, in wintertime, you gotta roll with a fan, or keep it on you double time like Yosemite Sam. A real nigga who don't give a fuck, I guess I am what I am. It be them fake niggas, pillow talking, wrong game, no having, whole lot of double crossing, backstabbing, trying to put a stop to the half-assing, have at it. Bitch ass nigga, you can't score, so just pass it. Pull up like what's poppin', nigga. Fuck all that gossip, tryna supersize my pockets, nigga. Better keep it on your lap, ain't got no time to be watching niggas. Tryna supersize my pockets, nigga. Tryna supersize my pockets, nigga. Tryna supersize my pockets, nigga. Fuck all that gossip, tryna supersize my pockets, nigga.
All right, y'all. I was caught up in the video heavy. My man said, fuck all the gossip. I'm trying to supersize my pockets. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Like I mentioned, we talking from bars to beats, lyricism to the art of rapping, the formulation of culture into the nuance of today. Let's introduce and bring to the forefront the brother Izrell. What's going on, my brother?
Peace. You know what I'm saying? What it do?
How you doing today, my brother? How you doing today?
I'm good. We on the right side of the dirt.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that. I was sharing with the people how we was engaging in this exciting thing of ours in conversation.
Absolutely.
But for those that don't know, are in the chat already. As soon as your video came up, they already was rapping. It was like West Coast out the gate. The chat already was like rapping. But for those that probably don't know, or should and need to know, tell me a little bit about yourself, man, and we'll start from there.
Yeah, man, I'm Izrell, you know, from East Oakland, you know what I mean? I try to pride myself being a connoisseur of this hip hop shit, man, you know what I mean? Or not even just hip hop, just music altogether. I remember I was watching a Michael Jackson interview, and he said, I don't like to categorize music, it's just all different. He didn't want to put it into different genres, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you know, I just like people that's authentic and true to themselves, you know what I'm saying? You could feel it, you know what I mean? When it's real, it's like me and my homies, we talk about it's a difference from listening to something and being able to duplicate it.
Mm.
But then, like, I remember Jada Kiss said this bar one time. He said, "Look at a broke nigga face when you mention a brick." And I was like, you gotta live
You
a
got it.
certain way to even think like that. Like they don't teach you that, teach you to
Yeah.
talk like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So yeah, so basically I always try to approach it like I want to do something because it's like when I go other places and shit, me being from Oakland, you know what I mean? Off bat, they go think, oh, okay, he on some hyphy shit or, on some pimp shit or something. And then when they hear it, they like, wait a minute.
Like, hold on.
Like, yeah, and so I try to approach it like, if you didn't know me, I want to make music where you got to be like, where the fuck is he from? You know what I mean? So I always try to keep my bag and my range kind of wide. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to be a well-rounded artist. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, yeah. So my mission is I wanna represent what's missing in the game. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like what's missing in the game is just people who don't like who just really do this shit and just you know what I mean. They like it got to be in you and not on you. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, it's some people might rap or do music because they didn't have chicks in high school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And they
So
make
they
them
want
and
the
they make them
fame.
feel cool.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And so it you got some people that's in it just to get a buck. You know what I mean? And so it's just like really what you in it for. You know what I'm saying? And so my thing is I just want to tap into like-minded people all across the world. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to say I did this and it started from this blank canvas and I did this thought and this person in Berlin feel what I'm talking about because they happen to be going through this shit right
Same
now.
thing.
Yeah. Substance is everything.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
And hearing you, it's like when a warrior comes across another warrior, he's like, yeah,
Yeah,
I
absolutely. You
you
speak the
you could
language,
you
the done
yeah
language.
yeah yeah you most definitely. So hearing you is like, yeah, I know
Yeah,
he's been through stuff and he knows how to formulate his experiences, his love and his passion into a poetic sense where if
absolutely.
you might miss it, but
Absolutely.
it's meant for those who don't. It's
Right,
meant for those who ain't gonna miss it. So
right.
so when you first was starting
Okay.
into this thing, like what was your first take at, putting your words on paper and pen and
Well,
honing your
it,
craft?
it was like, so what's crazy is it's like, we would have like different things in school, like cooking week, where you writing down hella recipes and then the next week you cook them.
Okay.
Then they'll have poetry week and you have your little notebook and I always thought like I was always good at spelling and English and shit like that. So I was like, oh, it's nothing to learn words. That shit is easy. Hat, cat, you know what I'm saying? And so that was that. And then so I always fuck with hip hop shit, but I never really tripped on like rhyming or nothing. And then it's crazy because I had went to Job Corps. I
Okay.
had went to Job Corps like in Utah, and I had met my dude. His name's Sir, and he was from LA. And like we was just chopping it up in the dorm late nights, and and I seen him writing a rhyme one night, and I was like, "What you doing?" And he was like, "Man, I'm writing a rap." I was like, "Oh, you be rhyming and shit?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, okay." And he was like, "Yeah, man. When I get back, man, I'm gonna start my little group. I got this situation going on, and so it kind of blossomed from that. And
Okay.
so I started, jotting down little thoughts. I had I might be out somewhere and jot it down on a brown paper bag or something, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to forget this
Wherever
shit.
you could get it in, you like
Straight up on your hand if you got to, you know what I'm saying? And so, so we ended up leaving Job Corps, and he ended up doing his shit, you know what I mean? Have like starting his family and shit, and I kind of just stayed with it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so, like, when I came back from Job Corps, it's like I went and I wasn't rapping when I came back. And so now my dudes on the block, like, you rapping.
You
Like,
rap, man. Let me hear something. What you
out of
got?
here. Like, you know what I mean? And so out here, it was just a lot of like mob music, gangster shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we was accustomed to. And so I'm just, trying to sharpen my pen at that point. And I knew I had a long way to go. You know what I'm saying? And so it was like, I had a buddy that stayed across the street, and his dad had helped him build his first little studio.
Okay.
And so then my one of my other boys was like a DJ. And so we used to look at him like, this nigga on some Beach Street type shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we see him walking with records and shit. We out on the corner, motherfuckers is trapping. Like, man, there go that nigga with them records and shit. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm back and I'm rhyming, and I'm like, okay, so they had the shit going on. And so I tapped in with them and started going over there. And it was like, they was heavily into hip hop, like East Coast hip hop shit.
Okay.
Like as to where I'm listening to gangster shit, they listen to like Tribe Called Quest.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. And so I'm like, damn. But what was ironic was my best friend was a real fucking knucklehead, right?
It's always the best friend, right?
He was a hip hop head. Like, his mom had these big ass speakers that were like the stereo speakers, like slapping hella hard. Like, so we would cut school and like, okay, moms ain't here, we could turn this shit up. You know what I'm saying? And so out here, it's like it was a big thing to have a lot of slap in your car and be riding around, pounding and shit, and so he was always looking for shit that pounded on them speakers.
Okay.
And it wouldn't matter if it was from East Coast or West Coast, and he was the one that would always be like, you heard about these people? You heard about this dude? And I'd be like, nah, you got to get up on this motherfucker. We'll go to cut school and go to the house and play it. You know what I'm saying? And so so we used to do that shit. And so it was like when I start fucking with my other dudes who was really into the New York hip hop shit, it was like I kind of heard about some of this shit from the East Coast from my best friend. But he wasn't concerned with the studio shit. He was like, man, you want to the studio, I don't give a fuck about that. You know what I mean? And so I'm hanging with these dudes, and they just put me on game, just playing me different shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like turning me on to different shit like Wu-Tang or, and so then at that point I was like, it's something different about these. Like, it's something different about kind of like how our region is. Like, I was like, LA got their thing, the South got their thing, we got our thing. New York is, that's the Mecca, you know what I'm saying? But it was just like, I was like, it's just something different about it. I couldn't put my finger on it. Like, yeah. And then like when I heard Nas, it was like, you got to go back to the drawing board.
It's like, okay, hold on. This is what we doing? Okay, I gotta.
You got to go all the way back to the drawing. You ain't read enough books. You know what I'm saying? It was just vocabulary. I was like, that was to me, that was like the first time when I really, really, really got a dose of him. Like, it was like, I like to listen to people that have me puzzled. Like, how the fuck I didn't think of that?
Yeah. That's that's the appreciation for the art, man.
Listen, man. And like, he was giving it to you like that buck that bought a bottle could have struck the lotto. Like, it's like, that's not no
Yeah.
hell of a metaphor. You not gonna say that he lying about that. Like, and it was just like, so that's what started sending me like on my mission. Like, you got to start really digging and you know what I mean, taking it to a different level, like so far as incorporating your metaphors. Like me and my other homie, my boy Nobody, man, we talk about like rhyme schemes. And we listen to shit and we be like, oh yeah, he was scheming. He was scheming because like I'm a fan of battle rap shit too. So I listen to battle rap shit. And so that's kind of how I started kind of getting on my mission. And then I started just like traveling. Like I would go to LA, you know what I mean, Tennessee, shit like that. Go down to New Orleans, like I'm in a project, motherfuckers beating on the wall, like, oh, this your cousin from Cali, he rap. Let us hear
Let
something.
me.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's like they already didn't like Cali, you know, they ain't like Cali motherfuckers. And it was like I would happen to be just good enough to freestyle and catch their attention, and now they don't want to jump a nigga. You know what I'm saying?
They
They
like,
like, you know,
he cool.
you weak, we go beat your ass, you know what I'm saying? Or something like, you know what I'm saying? So that was that. And then like when I would go to LA, what now I don't know if a lot of people know about LA, but LA has a real hip hop based culture, like really with the bars. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you go out there, like when I went out there, it was like Project Load and Leimert Park and all that shit. And you go there and you think you go hear some gang bang shit, and motherfuckers is up there really with the
Really,
bar work.
the bar. Yeah.
Yeah. And so when I would come to LA, my boys that I would fuck with, they'd be like, oh, you been rapping, huh? Oh, okay, let's see what's up. So when I would get there, they have a house full of motherfuckers that rap. And all of them just like, we on a nigga from Oakland head. Like, you know what
Yep.
I mean? You gotta see what it's about. You know what I'm saying? And so that was around the time where you had to know how to freestyle without fucking up.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And who could freestyle the longest without repeating hella shit, and you know what I'm saying? And so like I used to just be in a gauntlet. Like when I would come to LA, like man, I come, they'd be like, it was just like they was waiting on me, like him. Oh, okay, yeah, let's get it
Let's
on.
get
Like you
to
know
it.
what I mean?
Let's get to
Yeah,
it. Let's waste no time. Wait.
you know. So and then I would always think about like New York. Like I had never been to New York, but my perception was like, you get off the plane and go to the projects, it's gonna be 20 niggas that's ready to rap, and they gonna be tough. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like
sir.
shit, like yeah, man. You know, so I just stayed on top of that shit, and then um, I had another buddy. And he would just like he taught me shit about recording. You know
I
what I
was
mean?
gonna, I was gonna, I was gonna transition into that. Like, how was
Yeah,
that process? Because when we first coming up, especially back then, it wasn't as easy
right.
to stumble into recording processes or
Absolutely,
situations. So we like was in the gauntlet of honing our
absolutely,
pen, getting our bars together,
absolutely.
memorizing 50 raps. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, yep.
So how was that transition from per se the streets into the recording space?
So okay, so my dudes who start turning me on to like the East Coast shit, we ended up being a group. You know what I mean? We ended up being a group. So that's how I would tap into like my homework per se. You
Okay.
know what I mean? And so then so when I kind of stopped fucking with them, I had ran across my other dude, my dude Sale. And so he would come he would come pick me up every day, like a couple of times a week. You know what I mean? Like I usually be hanging on the block, with my niggas trapping or whatever, you know what I mean? And he'll be like, I'm about to come get you, and we go to the house and record. But he never like, like me coming up, always thought it was like supposed to be cool. Like you have hella niggas around, y'all got bottles blowing and bitches in the background, and that's how the studio session's supposed to look. He wasn't fucking with that.
Not at
He's
all.
like, man, I ain't letting nobody come to my house. It's in my living room. You know what I mean? And so I was I was with the bars, but I wasn't nice with the hooks. And so I would always have my verses, but then he'd be like, well, what's the chorus?
It's
What's
the
the hook?
chorus.
Yeah. And so then he got at me. He was just like, don't even, he was like, you know how to write rhymes. He was like, don't even write your rhymes till you got your hook.
Mm.
And I was like, damn. And I start finding myself trying to come up with that hook first, and it would be difficult. And I was like, but once I would get that hook, it was all downhill.
Yeah.
And so this dude really like put me in boot camp, like so far as on a hot summer day, he coming to get me from the block and be like, yeah, you know that song we did the other day? Yeah, I think you could do it better. So I'm gonna come pick you up and
And you gonna get that
you know what
over.
yeah, I'm gonna come pick you up and we gonna try to do it again, man. I got hella weed and whoop the whoop, and it was like he wasn't leaving me no way out. But in my brain, I'm saying, I don't even feel like fucking with this nigga today, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I done already said this shit, man. I want to go back to that shit, man. On to the next one, you know what I mean? And he really, really, really just used to drill me every day, like, you know what I mean? And he would just tell me like, it's about the feeling, like, you know, when you saying this shit, like you want to, you want to have that feeling, you know what I mean? And he always encouraged me to go out and try to experience shit and suck up the game and have something to talk about on the mic.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
so it's like all them days that I used to be fucking with him, and then he used to make beats, and his beats was kind of different.
You didn't even know the gem you had. You had a full on producer.
Listen, man, listen. And so it was like, so he made beats, and so he would make beats, and like I would come to the block and play the little songs that we did and shit, but it wasn't sounding like the traditional shit that was out. It was like some different sounding shit, you know. And so my niggas would be like, yeah, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, if you ain't got no famous producer, we don't, fuck all that shit. And so all them days when I started going to like LA and recording with like out there and shit, when I would go to the studio, I was like over prepared. I was like, like
You was ready.
I'm coming in there one take Jake and shit. Like, oh, y'all want me to do what? Like, and so it starts spawning into that. And then with me being in the rap group that I was in, I was in there with like 6, 7 other dudes, you know what I mean? And all of us had like different styles. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I learned a lot. Like, it was my two dudes, Q and E, they had a group. They called themselves Mathematics. You know what I'm saying? So it was like different acts within the group. It was called the Royal Regiment, but we had different, and so I would take from like, my dude at the studio, he was with the smooth shit. Him and my DJ homie, they was with the smooth shit, like Pete Rock, Ali Shaheed Muhammad. Then Q and E was like with the rough shit, like, you know what I mean? You go catch them listening to like they be on the Wu-Tang. And so I learned how to, like, with them I learned how to rap and rhyme without rhyming. Like the last part of the bar needs to be so impactful, you like he ain't have to rhyme.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? What he
That
said
delivery,
was tough.
that delivery just
it was tough.
The package has been sent. It's been sent.
Bingo. And so
to your story though, right?
uh-huh.
I see how parallel the streets were into your life. How was
Right.
balancing that between the streets and basically the studio? How was balancing that, and how did that influence your rhyme style and rhyme pattern?
So with that, like, it's crazy because like that best friend that was a knucklehead, right? I used to always be with him all the time. Like, if you didn't see me with him, they'd be like, where he at, vice versa. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I would get in trouble with him, you know what I mean? And he had did some shit, and moms had put me on punishment, and I used to be in the house, but I would, when I would get outside and go to school, I'd be cutting up, you know what I'm saying? And so that kept me out of a lot of trouble. Um, and so then I just always, for some reason, I had like a kind of like a little intuition about certain shit. Like I'd be outside fucking around with them, and then I just be like on some, hey, I'm finna go in the house and go eat. You know what I mean? Just on some random shit. And I go in the house and eat. And then next thing you know, task force then came through the block and, beat somebody up and somebody done went to jail. And then so the next morning when I'm talking, they be like, yeah, when you went in the house, man, task hit, man. And you know what I'm saying? Um, so it was crazy. One of my dudes said, he was like, man, he was like, you the only one from the block that did everything we did, and you ain't never went to jail. You know what I'm saying? And I just always prided myself on not being a follower because my mama always said, you go to jail, don't call me. And I was like, I ain't got nobody else to fucking call. You know what I'm saying?
She let you know, don't call me.
Straight up. And that kind of spooked me. And so I was like, so when it came to doing shit, I was always like, if I didn't have a good feeling that we was gonna get away with that shit, I wouldn't fucking with it.
Like, I'm out.
Yeah, I
I'm
wasn't fucking
gonna
with it.
get something to eat.
Yeah, I wasn't fucking with it. You know what I mean? And so when I start really, really digging into the music, it kind of took me away from the block. It kind of took me away from the block. Then I was getting into girls and shit. So my time was like, hey, yo, I'm finna go over here and go to the studio. Then after the studio, I'm finna go to Lil Mama house. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was a lot of little shit like that. So, and then the thing about me, I like the concept of getting money and shit, but I didn't like the concept of having to stand around all day and wait to get it.
Wait to get it, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And then it was like, okay, I don't got no money, so somebody go front me a sack. Let's say you front me 100 count. I got to bring back $80.
So I did all that for just
Yeah,
no,
80 bucks.
I'm with you on that all day. I'm with
Yeah,
you on that.
yeah. But the dude who done gave you the sack, you see him ride off in a Dolphin rental with a bitch going to the hotel or something with weed and talking about, yeah, I'll be back. And then they pull up after they done kicked it and you still on the corner. They talking about how much you got left in. What?
Yeah.
Like, I done been put in all this work and you just fuck all that. I did not like that shit. And so it was just like, I was like, man, y'all can have that part of the game right there. And so I just stayed just like traveling and seeing different shit. And then I just started coming up with my mind, like, if you go do this shit, you need to be trying to make big records. And I remember I seen DMX like perform somewhere and it would look like a sea of people, bro. I seen some shit like that and it was singing this shit and I was like, that's what I want.
That's that right
Like
there.
it like that's when I identified. I was like, if I could put something in the game that's etched in the history of music and
Make
like
your mark.
something, yeah, and everybody fucking with it, I walk away from this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, because it's like, what else am I trying to achieve? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yeah, because it's like people chase the money and it's like, if you good at what you do, you will get paid.
Yeah, you will be rewarded. You will be rewarded from your talents. You put in enough time. I'm gonna go to the chat real quick, and we have a question that was asked, and they said, "Do you feel today's music? How do you feel about today's music, given your experience?"
It's very different. But what I will say is it's hope. You know what I'm saying? It's hope. It was getting spooky for a while. Like I was like, man, it's going to, but it's like I like that we all getting into a space of we're letting people be who the fuck they want to be. And that's dope. And so it is, I feel like it's coming back to lyrics because we didn't have so much bullshit.
Yeah, we got tired. We got tired of it.
Yeah, and so it to be honest, it reminds me of like we called it the jingly era. Like when Puff and them was wearing the shiny suits and
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? We was calling that the jingly era. Like, you know, that's when everybody was doing that type of shit. But then it was like then you had different motherfuckers come through like a DMX, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He out here with his shirt off, you know what I mean? Hella motherfuckers on the block, motorcycles, and you know what I mean? It was different.
Yeah.
So I think that's where the game is kind of like right now. It's like we kind of waiting for somebody to poke their head out to represent that part of the game. And the closest that we got that I feel right now is the Clips. But before that, when Griselda popped back up on the scene,
Yeah.
I mean, when they popped on the scene, everybody gravitated to that because it was like we know what that is.
Yeah. It was a familiar difference. It
We
was
know what that
familiar,
is.
but it was
Like
different from what's going on right now.
right, because like think about this, like nothing is new, you know what I mean? Because you'll have a young dude run up on you with a high top and look at you like you don't know what's going
Mm,
on.
all
And you
day.
like my dude, the first time I seen a high top, do you know who it was on? You know
Straight up.
what I'm
Straight up.
saying? And
Straight up.
so it's like so with that being said, I understand that that it's you could have a young dude that come out and rap like Special Ed right now, and people might go through the roof
Yeah.
because for one, Special Ed came out so long ago, nobody's listening to that, so it's gonna sound foreign. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And I
And
found that,
fresh. It sounds
yeah,
fresh. Like,
yeah. So I was like, me and my bro She, man, you know what I'm saying? I fuck with him. We got a project coming out called the Book of Israel, but like it's a trip because like I would be in the studio and I'd be laying shit, and he's one of the ones that he'd be like sometimes, man, you be laying shit and I'd be wondering like what the fuck is he doing? And he was like, I just had to learn, like, let him just cook. Let him cook. Because he'd be like, I do some shit. I might leave gaps in little spaces. Then I'd be like, give me another track, and then I fill it
fill
in.
it
He'd be
up.
like, oh, he did that. You know what I'm saying? And so one time I remember I was I was laying something, and then when I came out the boot, he was like, oh, you just hit niggas off with the Dana Dane flow, huh? And I was like, is that what I was doing? Like, but it's just like I listen to the music and it's kind of like it's crazy that the music tell me where it needs to. It's like
It's a
when I hear,
conversation.
yeah, where it needs to be. It's like this beat needs this type of song over it,
Yep.
and I just go from there.
Yeah. That's like I said, I completely get it. I completely get it. How do you feel with, we came up in a time where, your presentation and who you were, you formulated and built that just off your feel, and how you displayed it wherever you go. Now with the
Right.
likes of like social media and how people push like the algorithms
Right.
and how do you feel that has influenced the game of music as a whole? Do you feel positive, negative? What's your take on that?
It's different. Like what I would say is like with me, I was having a conversation with somebody, and and I need to get better at it. You know what I mean? Because like I'm not a post crazy dude. It be days I be doing so much other shit running around, and I be like, fuck, I need to post something. Like, you know what I mean?
It's like,
And I
damn,
and I used
that would have been a good post right there.
yeah, and then I used to be on my shit. Like it was crazy because I'd be on my socials just like talking shit, like on some life shit, and I get more engagement, you know what I'm saying, than when I
Yeah.
would post my music, you know what I'm saying? But then one of my dudes had got at me, he was like, wait a minute, when I go to your page, it's a lot of that type of shit. It's taking me too long to get to the music. He was like, I need to go to your page and know that you're doing music. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I was like, ooh. And then he was like, if you were selling something, I would need to know what you're
What you're
selling.
selling.
not what you ate today, or none of that type of shit. And so now how I feel about it is kind of like a tricky situation, because it's like, like you said, when we came up, it was like we was worrying about keeping our pen sharp and all this and that. And it's just like, um you couldn't be on the block recording niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that'll
yeah, yeah.
get you beat up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a certain cloth that we be cut from. You know what I mean? And so it's like with me, I be feeling like, I had to tell my dude one day. I was like, it's sort of like a mechanic. Do I know how to change brakes? Yes. Do I want to do it? No. I have no problem with paying a mechanic, a motherfucker that went to school or really like fucking with cars or whatever. But when I got in this shit, I got in it to sharpen my shit to the utmost. You know what I'm saying? To make sure I'm giving quality product. You know what I'm saying?
Most
Like shit
definitely.
like that's yeah. So now it's like, now they be like, well, you have to create content. You have to be a content creator. I'm getting that shit for this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's real different, and it's always changing.
Always.
It's always changing. And so now you got the stream thing going on. And then they'll put up the thing like, oh, you have to do this many streams to get this amount of
Amount of
money. And
money.
so now, yeah, so now it's kind of like we really getting to it. It's like, what are you in it for? Because if you in it for a quick buck, I tell you can beat it right now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the
Put an egg
realest.
in your shoe and beat it. You know what I'm saying?
That's the realest.
And so it's just like, what are you in it for? You know what I mean? And so it's just like, recently I got a chance to go to Denmark and do some music. I just came back from Johannesburg
Dude,
doing music.
I saw your
And
post and you said something really, sorry to cut you, but you said,
go ahead.
to be able to travel to do music is the blessing, man. And
That's
when
it,
I
bro.
saw that post, it hit because it's nothing like going somewhere different, or even just going somewhere to create in that essence, man.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's like it was so unreal. Like, I was doing this shit, and then I was getting out there. Like, for instance, when I went to Joburg, it was like every day we was getting up. Me and my boy, we was, you know what I'm saying, my brother Black, man, we was getting up, go hit the fitness center, go eat some food, get dressed, straight to the studio. Soon as we get to the studio, like, he don't rap. You know what I mean? As soon as we get to the studio, they throwing it on immediately. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he looking at me like, "Shh, I don't rap. What you gonna do with that? That beat slapping. What you gonna do?" I'm like, I got you. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, so now when I came back, I'm still on my type of time or whatever, and I'll be bumping into people, and it's like, it's crazy that you'll have people that be following you, and they won't comment, they won't nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you do some shit like that, and you run into them. Like, I seen this cat that I haven't seen in over 10 years. And I seen him, and we ain't been talking and nothing. We don't follow each other on social media or nothing. And I'm coming out the store, and I see him. I'm like, "What's up with you, champ?" You know what I mean? And he like, "Yeah, I just heard you came back from Africa." I'm like,
It's like,
how the
damn.
fuck you? Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Then I seen my other dude. I was on a cruise. I seen him. He was like, "Didn't you just come back from Africa?" I'm like, and so my boy had gave me a bar, and he told me, he said, "Hey man, quit running around like you regular," because he was like, "You doing a lot of shit that
That
motherfuckers who got deals don't even do."
didn't do. Yeah, that's real.
For real,
I know what you mean.
straight
So,
up.
I can't let you just skip over the fact that you was in Africa, man. How was Africa, brother? I just can't let that go. Like, how was that?
It was very uh it was, I want to say, it was kind of like life changing, like mind state, like so far it put me in a different mind state, because you go out there and like you see like all the poverty that's going on out there, right? And it's like, it's a lot of shit we take for granted out here. and it's like now it makes me understand why people of different ethnicities they come to America and really get to it.
And get to it.
They don't be like, we not going to no clubs and buying no sections and then I'm over here, I'm diving in these books and you looking at them like they're a clown. The next thing you know, they done graduated, they pushing the foreign, they up on the hill in the house, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't want to go back to that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But on the flip side to that, man, it was so much of a good vibe. I never got called king so much in my life. You know
Wow.
what I'm saying? People was seeing me and it was just like they just knew I wasn't from there. It was like, welcome back home. Welcome home. You know what I mean? Like it was
Wow.
real emotional and touching and it was just like, damn, like, you know, like I had went to a festival out there, man, and the shit had me like way in tears, man, because it was just like the music that was playing and just the vibe was going on with nobody in there with no guns, nobody wasn't tripping. And it was just like, you'll be surprised, man. Like even with the hip hop out there, I'm thinking, it's finna be Afro beats, and that's how fucked up we are. You know what I mean?
We don't, because we
I'm
don't
thinking
know.
it's I didn't hear no Afro beats when I was out there. And I was out there for 10 days. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about they had a real hip hop community, like with the bars though. Like, you know what I mean? It fucked me up. I'm talking about they got some dope dudes out there, man. I met this guy out there, man, Marcus Harvey, man. Like he a big deal out there, and I don't think nobody really know him out this way or whatever, but like I'm at the studio and we cutting records and shit, and he pull up and he just like real nonchalant, you know what I mean? I ain't really thinking nothing. Then he start playing this shit, and I'm like, "That's you?" And he making the beats, he mixing this shit like crazy, and so um we ended up doing a couple of records, and it was just like he would just come from scratch, and it reminded me of when I was a little dude in the rap group with my dudes. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
We got that hunger. We come in there every day. We building, and that's how they was getting down. Like,
That's how they were doing it.
yeah,
Wow.
like one dude got the samples. He'd come through and be like, "I was working on these samples last night." He'd hear it. He'd be like, "Go through them." He'd be like, "Okay, I'm finna use this one." Build a beat. Now they making a song. They do that all day, bro. Like, and so it was really eye opening. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, get out. Like, if I could tell anybody anything about this shit, get out and move around so you can see the wider
But
picture.
yeah, most definite. I mean, I'm still on the welcome home. Like that right there,
That's
just like
crazy.
wow.
That
That right there got me.
Yeah, it sent chills. Like, I mean, they said it to me. Like a couple of people said it to me. Like, you see somebody, you see a brother. Out here you got to be on point. Like, man, is he? What he
Yeah,
on? You know what
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. Wait.
And they looking all like, welcome home. You know what I mean? You like, damn, man. And it was nothing but love out there, bro. It was crazy. Like, I didn't see not one BBL out there, or you know what I mean. Like it would none of that type of shit. Like, you
None
know
of
what I'm
that.
saying.
It's a
Like
hope.
it was just different. It was just different, and then just it was beautiful out there. You know what I'm saying. I was mad I didn't get the chance to go to Cape Town.
Okay.
So I'm supposed to be going back in October, so I'm jetting straight to Cape Town.
Cape
Like, you know
Town.
what I'm.
Gotta hit
Yeah,
Cape Town, right?
straight up, man. I want to go there, and it was crazy when I was out there. I was talking with this brother, and we was talking about like tribes and where people come from, and my dude, like he dark skinned, you know what I'm saying, and so he was like, they were saying that I was thinking that he looked more like Shaka Zulu.
Okay.
And the dude looked at me and he said, "No, you look like you from the Zulus." You know what I mean? He was
Oh,
like that. He was like, "It's not like
like
how yeah, it's
we
not
we
like the
we got
movies."
the false perspectives.
Yes, yes, yes. And so it's just like, you know, it's hard. It's a big rabbit hole to jump down, but it's just like, you know, you got to get back close to
Yeah,
like what's the original, you know, what's the original thing that you know you was doing, like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, but that welcome home shit was crazy,
crazy.
man, crazy. And when I
Wow.
left, it was just like when I came back, it was just like we got shit fucked up over here. Even in Denmark, bro. Like when I went to Denmark, it was just like, you know, like it's just different. Like,
Different.
yeah, it's just different how they fuck with it. Like down to the food. Like, you know, I'm thinking about breakfast. I'm like, my boy was like, let's go get some breakfast. I'm thinking I'm finna go get an omelet and some potatoes. And man, he got some toast. He got a croissant with some cheese and the coffee and was like, let's go. I'm like, what? You
I
know
said,
what I'm
what?
saying?
He's like, yeah, it's it. It's it.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, man.
You know, um, this show is conversation based, and there's only one question that remains the same for everybody. Everything else
Okay.
is just, and that question is, if you could look at the younger version of Israel and
Uh-huh.
tell yourself something, what would you tell your younger you?
Travel and don't be afraid to put that shit out. Like, um, because you know, like, um, you know, coming up back in the days, like you didn't even go to the studio unless you had a deal, damn near.
That's
You know
true.
what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like you really wouldn't shit if you didn't have a deal now. And so now it's like, I look back in hindsight, like I'd be like, damn, um, like I was so much trying to perfect my craft that I wasn't worried about really trying to put shit out like that. You know what I mean? And I always felt like I didn't want to put shit out that fell on deaf ears. You know, and so I so the most thing that I would say would just travel. You know what I'm saying? I would have got a little bit more head start on traveling, and then just not overthinking shit.
That's a big
Because
one.
like the
That's a big
yeah,
one.
like yeah, because like the first little shit that I had put out was called The Answer, and I was just like, it was just songs I had, like, you know, and my nigga was around me and he was like, hey, put that shit out. You know what I mean? He was like, man, just come up with a track list and put that shit out. And I was like, yeah, 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 whatever. And you know, he was just like on some, give me the songs. You know what I'm saying? And so then I was like, yeah, okay, well, here go the songs, one to one. And he was just like a fan of my music. This was my bro. He was just a fan of my
Yeah.
music. And then next time I seen him, he had shit in the order. He had skits. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this is it. We running with it. And I still kind of like didn't believe. I was just like, okay, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I run with it, you know. And so that's what it would be with me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't overthink it. That's the main thing.
I
Because
respect
we
that.
get in our own way. We get
We
in
do.
our own way.
We do. Um, we're in the era of everybody getting their flowers. Like that's a big common thing. Everyone's talking about they get the flowers. But here on MJ presents Shoe Radio, we like to give our honor. Because
Right.
flowers do die, but honor lasts forever. And we want to just take this
Correct.
time to give you your honor.
I
How
appreciate
you
you, man.
preserve the craft and the penmanship and the work ethic, and not just in the art, but the culture and the art of the culture, while maintaining the true identity of yourself alongside maintaining the culture and sharing that in the gift of talent. We just want to give you your flowers, your honor, and celebrate you right now for being what the culture and the art most definitely needs, is those walking testimonies, and
Yeah.
also the idea and the outlines of what it means within us. So thank you, man. We want to give you that round of applause, my brother.
Right on, man. I appreciate that. And it's likewise, man. You know what I mean? I get that to you too, brother, because you know what I'm saying? Because it takes one to know one. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like
sir.
we saying, like we talking, we saying certain shit. You know what I mean? And like when I say to you, you speak the Dun language. You and I know what's going on.
We know
You
what's
know what
going
I'm
on.
saying? You know what's going on. You
We
know what
know
I'm
what's going
saying?
on straight up.
Yeah, yeah. You know it ain't that like you know what I mean. It's just that, and it's just like it's kind of like a Jedi community, damn near. Like we out here. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yes, indeed.
We know what to look for. It's like with it's like we know what to look for. You know what I'm saying? We know what's cookie cutting it like.
Straight up.
Yeah, like I got a young homie. He's he I don't know if he's like that now, but he was a real Drake fan.
Okay.
And he would play me Drake shit, right? And I used to be like, Drake on here spazzing. But I'm gonna tell you, the only thing that I'm just from that cloth, I'm like, did he pin that, man? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And motherfuckers be like,
Did
oh,
he?
it don't matter. I'm like,
No, it
no,
it
no,
matters.
no. It's just you don't get away with that. Like, you know,
Thank you.
that ain't what this is. That ain't
Thank
what
you.
this is right here. I'm like
Yes.
I don't know 100. If I knew 100% that he was pinning his shit from front to back, we could have a different conversation about some of this shit. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
he say some things. He says some things like, you know, I'll be like, yo, he really giving you that backboard room talk, like,
Yeah.
yo, your career wasn't popping. Your manager called me, my manager. I said I do the hook for you. They cut the check. Your shit been going, you know,
Yeah.
because
He
Universal
talk.
wanted to drop you. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? He giving you all that. And I'm like, that's the man, you know, but it's just like, so, um, yeah, man, it feels good to even just like, I could do this shit like for hours. And you know what I mean? That's all I be wanting to do is just chop it up about this shit, man. And it feels good to be like, yo, you seen that? You feel that too? Like, you know what I
Word up.
mean?
Word up.
Yeah.
Word up. For those that are on right now and they possibly want to like collaborate or do work
For
or
sure.
producers that want to reach out to you, what's the
For sure.
best way for people to reach out to you and get in contact?
Man, at Izrell, at Izrell, man, hit me on the gram. You know what I mean? I check my DMs or whatever. I'm not a funny style dude. You know what I'm saying? I like to collab. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm not with the funny style shit. You know what I'm saying? I like people who I like-minded individuals. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, man, just hit me up, man. You know what I mean? Let me know what we doing, man. You know what I'm saying? I get a kick out of it. Like, it's like kind of like it's like when Kevin Durant and them dudes they be going to pickup games, you know, like going to the Rucker or
It's like
going to.
yo, yeah,
They don't need to do that.
they don't, but
Yeah, we just getting shots up. Like in all environments, I'm getting a bucket. You know what I'm saying? So it's all like it's always good to meet new people and receive new energy. You know what I'm saying? So by all means, you know what I'm saying? Any producers you know y'all got whatever, you know what I mean? Let's tap in, let's get to it. Anybody rhyming or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Let's get to it. You know what I'm saying? Now what I will say about that is it's no friends in the booth. You know, me and you
bring
know
it.
what that means. You
Yeah,
know what
bring
I'm
it,
saying?
bring it, bring
You know
it.
what I'm saying? So it's just like, but yeah, I like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like a gauntlet. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get it in. You know what I mean? I like to, you know, you want to be on the court with somebody that can
Let,
score and go get a
yeah,
bucket. Like,
let's
no,
let's
I know for
let's rock.
sure
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
get it in.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's the name of the game. We got an interesting question. You was like, you interested in all different type of atmospheres. The chat was asking, what about country music and rock?
I fuck with rock all day.
There you go.
I
Y'all
fuck
got your
with rock.
answer.
I fuck with rock all day. I'm like actually to later on tonight I'm gonna watch the the farewell Black Sabbath
Okay.
concert. It was a tribute concert that they just had in Birmingham, and it's like all the groups like they
Coming out, popping out for that, right?
well, they came and did Black Sabbath songs.
Songs.
Like
Yeah,
Guns
yeah.
N' Roses was there, Metallica, and it was crazy. They did that concert, and then like 2 weeks later, Ozzy died. But I fuck with that type of shit. Like I was just watching this documentary on the Red Hot Chili Peppers,
Okay.
and it was like they needed them. They needed the record label needed them to turn in their album, and they was running around doing rock
Doing
star
what
shit.
doing what they do.
Yeah. But the manager got them a house in Beverly Hills, like on some Airbnb shit, had them in the house for like 3 months. He was like, we don't want them leaving the house. Anything they need, they want to see their kids, we bringing them to the house. And they stayed up in that house and just banged out all them fucking hits. You know what I'm saying? So back to the question, I fuck with rock a lot. I fuck with, you know what I mean? I really fuck with that. Country music, I'm not so much versed in it. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not too much familiar, but when I hear certain, like my thing is if it sounds authentic and it's coming from
That's
a
it.
real place, you could tell, you know what I'm saying?
When something
And
sound
so
good, it sound good. Like
that's what it is,
you
you know what
can't.
I'm
That's
saying?
it. No matter what it is.
Yeah, so it's just like actually me and my dude G Coop, we doing some rock shit. I have been telling him like, like, cause he's real, like he's a real musician from Boston, and we got down we got a project called Talk of the Town, you know what I'm saying? And it's like he's really into like classical rock and shit like that, and so when I got on my mission and I start talking about rock shit, he really got excited, like, what you know about that? You know what I'm saying? So when we get together, we start talking about certain shit and ping pong and ideas. So I was just telling him, I was like, bro, like, you know how to do that music, you know what I mean? I could, you know what I'm saying? Let's put it together and try to fuck with something and see what kind of magic we can make.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So
There you go.
I
I already
collab with country music too.
those questions didn't they weren't random questions. Those questions were asked because you're gonna get reached out to. I can guarantee you're gonna
Absolutely.
get
Please
reached out
do.
to.
Please do. Please do. I invite it, man. That's what I'm here for. Like, um, I just feel like because I'm gonna be honest, like, like you see how the game change up and sometimes that shit can get discouraging. You know
It
what
can.
I'm saying? And then you have to dig in and say, what are you in it for? And then it's just like I feel like I'm like, damn, like it's crazy. I'm still excited about like when I get a beat, and it's like a blank canvas, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like for me to listen to that blank canvas and then come with something in the finished product and it's done, it's like and it comes to me so easy. It's like I hear it and I'll be looking around, like if I'm in a session with some other people and they be trying to figure it out, I'll be like, you don't know
You,
where to
you,
go with
you
this,
know,
like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like
So
I know
you
immediately,
don't
like,
hear what it's telling you. You don't hear what it's telling you.
yeah, yeah. And so it's like naturally, like in real life, like a lot of my buddies call me and just be wanting to hear advice. You know what I mean? Like, and I was talking to my mom and she was telling me about how when I was younger, she would always look at me and didn't want me to get in trouble. She was like, because they're using you because you're the mastermind. And I never did grab that. And so it's like now I find myself like, my dudes will call me and just want some advice about some shit. And they really value my opinion. And so it's like I transfer that type of shit to the bars.
Gotcha.
And so I learned over the years how to be more conversational. So now I feel like this ain't even nothing with me no more. This is my gift that I got to the world. You know what I'm saying? Like if I could offer some words or a vibe, some energy or something to the world, that's what this
That's
is
what
for. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that. I feel that,
Yeah,
and being with that, right? Being with that, and you've been giving us a lot of gems and conversation.
for sure.
Before I let you go, and you could do your shouts and say your last word, but can you give some words of advice and wisdom to our viewers before we let you continue on your day?
Okay. I would say just be true to yourself. Like when you find yourself confused about something you might want to do or something, just ask yourself a simple question like, what is it that I want to do? Because we get caught up with saying, you know what, I'm not gonna say that because man, they might feel this way and whoop the whoop. And so I got a saying that I go by. I say, be ruthless about your happiness.
Wow, I like that.
And yeah, and so when I was like, when I start running with that little phrase, like be ruthless about your happiness, I was like, okay, that's one thing. But then one day I had to stop and just look up the word ruthless. And it made me think about like the Vikings that would come through and pillage shit. Like they kill all the men and the kids and rape the women and take all this
Yeah,
food, and they was ruthless. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta ask yourself, are you really being ruthless about your happiness? Because it's not nothing personal. I just don't feel like doing what you want me to do.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like if you want me to do something that I don't want to do, then you have to sell it to me to make me want to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I would just say be true to yourself. Be true to yourself, do what you want to do. And I feel like that's gonna land you, that's gonna land you in a good space. Cause I go by it's a doggy dog world, live and let die. And it was one more. Um it's a doggy dog world, live and let die. It was one way to come to me. If not, I'll figure it out. But at the end of the day, it's just like, yeah, man, don't get in your own way.
I love that.
Don't get in, yeah, and another thing is another jewel that I got is I looked at this article called the third one was the nice guys finish last. And so I was looking at this article called 20 Places You Must See Before You Die. And I had lightweight got kind of sad because I was like, damn, man, these is places I never would have thought about. And it's like, in order to even get on this list, I would have had to been getting on that way back in the days. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, if I ain't gonna be stressed out about it in 3 months, it don't matter.
It don't matter.
Yeah, you know. So that would be my advice right there to just people in general. You know what I'm saying? Do exactly what you like to do. You know what I'm saying? To get paid for doing what you like to do is a blessing.
Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that, man. Thank you for sharing that, man. Thank you for coming on the show. It
Absolutely.
was
Thank you for
most
having me.
definitely a pleasure. Got to chop it up, share some
Yeah.
information. Most
Yeah.
definitely. We gonna keep our eyes on you, see what you got coming up next. And maybe in a few months from now, you could come on and share some of the stuff that you got cooking up and what you got going on, my brother.
Definitely, man. Hey, I represent y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? We the last of the Mohicans, man. You know what I'm saying? And we gotta lead by example. You know what
Straight
I'm saying?
straight
Like we
up.
gotta, because this is one thing I want to say. Like before we go, it's like I'm real heavy on that leading by example because when I was coming up, the guys that we looked up to, like the D boys and stuff, like these dudes with sharp suits on, slacks, loafers, no socks, gold rim glasses. You know what I mean? nowadays the dudes that we supposed to be looking up to, or the younger generation should be looking up to, we getting caught up trying to act like them.
Like them, yeah.
You got the older dudes dressing like teenagers, and they don't respect that because you doing something that they already know how to do. They perfected on how to wear hoodies and distressed jeans, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But when you bring something else to the table, that's something that has them intrigued. Like, okay, he doing something different.
Yeah, most definite. Most
But
definite.
for sure, man, anybody, man, by all means tap in, man. Let's me and you staying locked in.
Oh,
you
we
know
most
what I
definite.
mean?
We most definitely are.
Yeah,
definitely.
man. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, let's get to it, man. However we can get to it.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. It was
Yeah,
most
thank you,
definitely a
man.
pleasure. Let's get one
For
more
sure.
round of applause. My brother, you have a good night. You keep safe, man, and keep
Yes.
pushing that passion, my brother. Keep pushing that
Yes, sir.
passion.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, my brother. You have a good one.
All right, thank you for having me, man. Let's keep in contact.
We will. We will. We most
Peace.
definitely will. Oh, man, that was super dope, y'all. Shout out to everybody that's jumping on right now. If you just came on, yo, shout out to Tone. I see you. If you just came on, we were chopping up with Izrell. He was talking about his journey of maintaining the culture, developing the culture, and keeping the culture going now. Salute to him and everybody that was listening. Shout out to y'all. Like promised, we're going to go into one more video. This is In the Streets. But before I go, I got to give you the last word of the day. If you didn't get anything out of today, if you didn't give anything out of the day, is take the time to master your craft. Whatever you got going on, like he mentioned, he had this friend, he had this, he had the streets, so there was so many different things, but he had a yearning, he had a calling for something to create and say, and he took the time to develop it. And sometimes he even mentioned that he spent too much time developing and not putting it out. So what I would say to you right now is take the time to develop and put some out into the universe so you can see how much more development you need or how much development you had. Because if you hold it and you hide it, you will never know its full potential, and those that could appreciate will never see it. Thank you for hollering and being on the show today. Shout out to everybody on the MJMG Presents app. Shout out to everybody here. We're going to go into In the Streets and we're closing it out. See y'all next Monday, man. Peace.